A place where worshipers are meant to feel safe, invaded by a gunman.
Today our home was invaded by evil.
Churchgoers jumping into action to stop the suspect.
And 2 men today left a legacy. But a congregation is going to build on that legacy.
Tulsans remembering those killed.
It's very tragic, and my prayers and condolences to those lost in that tragic event.
We're working for you to discover how churches in Green Country stay safe and what rules there are for worshipers.
You're watching 2 Works for You at 10.
Now, following that deadly church shooting in Texas with new details, here's the latest. 2 people in this shooting suspect are dead. Investigators say a gunman went into the church in the town of White Settlement near Fort Worth. During service, officers say the man opened fire. Officers say 2 church members who are part of the security team then fired back, killing the shooter. 2 other church members died. NBC's Dan Shanneman shows us new video from inside that church, but we will not be showing the full video of the shooting.
The shooting began during a morning worship service at the West Freeway Church of Christ. A live stream shows a masked gunman holding a long gun and firing twice.
He entered the church and sat down with parishioners. He got up from that position, pulled out a shotgun, and fired it at a parishioner.
The church's security detail then confronted the gunman, fired, and took him down. 2 parishioners and the gunman were killed.
The heroism today is unparalleled.
We lost 2 great men today. But it could have been a lot worse.
The shooter was known to authorities, but few details have been released.
The shooter was in the area today, clearly has been in the area. From what we can gather in the investigation, he's relatively transient but has roots to this area.
The investigation will go on while the church's leadership asks for prayers.
We like to say we're a place you and your family can call home. Today our home was invaded by evil.
Threat is over. A church's grieving has just begun. Dan Shanneman, NBC News.
Now, in light of what happened, church safety here has become a popular topic in Tulsa. Tatiana, you spoke with someone earlier who believes we actually need security in churches, right?
Yes, his name was Christopher Lopez, and he's been going to church for the last 15 years, but he says in the last 5 years, he's seen a huge increase in the violence against those with religion.
It's very alarming, the rates on Christian churches being attacked nowadays.
Lopez says as the danger grows, people should be more cautious.
With these alarming rates, I think more churches, especially bigger ones that are more susceptible to targets, should have more security and for the protection of the congregation, the worship, and the families.
His friend Jesus Carajal agrees and says things will change if people do.
It's really just about loving each other, serving God, and I think ultimately then when people realize that, there'll be more peace in the world.
They both believe in having weapons for safety, in addition to having security in churches for that same reason.
Absolutely. I would feel more safe with security and just knowing that they're there to protect us in case of tragedy.
Clearly it was someone who had bad intentions, so yeah, I would feel more safe if people could openly carry their concealed weapons inside of a church.
Jim McBride works for the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security. He teaches classes on how to prevent active shootings in churches, and he suggests locking doors during the worship or hiring armed officers.
Churches, by their very nature and very designed, are not very secure. They have a lot of glass, have a lot of entrances, very welcoming, come in and worship with us, which is also their Achilles heel, which makes them very vulnerable.
He says it will take action to bring change.
Probably the best thing that they can do is to have a plan about what their response is going to be in the worst case scenario.
McBride gives presentations on how to prevent different active shooting situations, and we have the link on our website at KJRH.com.
All right, Tatiana, thank you. Excellent work. Now, a law did go into effect last year in Oklahoma that protects you in any place of worship if you have to use your weapon to stop an intruder. The law forces churches to make their gun policies known. Churches are allowed to make those decisions on whether or not to allow firearms. And we did reach out to multiple churches with different denominations all across the state for a statement or comment. Unfortunately, because of the holiday, we couldn't get in touch with many of those. We did hear back from one church and they denied to comment on the issue.
Now, your 2 Works for You First Forecast, brought to you by Route 66 Chevrolet and Nissan of Tulsa.
New details tonight on those damaging storms that blew through Green Country. The National Weather Service confirmed that an EF0 tornado did touch down in Broken Arrow. The strong winds caused damage in some neighborhoods.
And the sirens start going off, and from what he says is the neighbor's house in the back, the roof actually lifted off, and he's thinking, I gotta get to our storm shelter.
Of course, Brandon Woolley shows us just how strong those winds were in the path of the tornado. Brandon.
Vincent, the winds were between 80 and 85 miles per hour. The tornado traveled just over 1 mile, as you can see from our graphic here, and lasted for about 2 minutes. Now, take a look at our map here as we zoom down to street level, and you can see the path of the tornado from southwest to northeast. Now, the tornado developed over an open area west of County Line Road, which is the thick black line, and south of East 101st Street South. It crossed County Line Road, where it uplifted a portion of the roof on the east side of a house. Large tree limbs were snapped and power poles were leaning. It then crossed 101st Street and moved to the north side of the Northeastern State University campus before dissipating in that area just to the northeast of the campus. All right, so Doppler radar tonight on Viper 4D shows this snow that continues to move to the east of Kansas. It'll be dry, folks, over the next couple of days. More sunshine is back in our forecast. The wind chill now in Pryor at freezing 32, 30 in Tahlequah, and 35 down to the south in McAllister. By early tomorrow morning at 33 degrees, look for clearing skies overnight tonight, and we're left with some westerly wind gusts upwards of about 25 miles per hour. Take a look at this. Parts of the country are dealing with winter storms. In North Dakota, blizzard-like conditions forced officials to shut down parts of an interstate. This video is near Fargo, where officials say many vehicles are stranded. Tonight, winter weather alerts stretch from the Dakotas to Maine, impacting more than 24 million people. Now, we checked on the Tulsa International Airport's website. They have a few delays on arrivals, including one from Houston and Salt Lake City. That's more than an hour delayed at the present time. Vincent, we'll send things back over to you.
All right, sir. Thank you. New details on the bomb threat out of Anita McDonald's we told you about at 5 o'clock. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says the bomb squad did not find a device inside and gave the all clear for the restaurant and convenience store to reopen. Now, this happened at the location on the Will Rogers Turnpike. They closed down the McDonald's while they investigated earlier this afternoon. The Oklahoma FBI and Kickapoo Tribal Police are investigating a possible arson case that left 2 people dead. The house fire happened near Hera in a rural part of Lincoln County. First responders found the house in flames with 2 people reported inside. Officials say a suspect is in the hospital, but no names are being released. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is also assisting in the investigation. OSBI is investigating after a man died while in custody with the Stevens County Sheriff's Office. Investigators say Duncan police arrested Raymond Smith for driving with a suspended license. They say after he was booked, he started acting disoriented and called cellmates for help. His condition got worse and they called an ambulance, but Smith died at the hospital. A Hanukkah ends with 5 people stabbed inside a rabbi's home in New York. The suspect, Grafton Thomas, was arrested. New York's governor visited the crime scene.
Do you feel any remorse?
Do you feel bad at all? This is an act of terrorism. I think these are domestic terrorists. They are trying to inflict fear. They're motivated by hate.
The incident caps a week of anti-Semitic attacks throughout New York City, where people reported at least 6 incidents targeting Jewish people, including this one caught on video where a group of men punched a Jewish man in the back of the head back on December 24th. New York police are now deploying more officers to Jewish houses of worship in various communities as they warn people to stay on high alert. One person was killed when a small plane crashed into a home in Maryland this afternoon. Now, fire officials say the plane struck a carport attached to a house and a parked car before catching fire. Firefighters found one person dead inside the plane.
You hear a loud, like a boom, and then and the house had shook.
The car that was parked in the driveway had been blown across the street to the other side.
No one was inside the home at the time of the crash, and there were no other reports of injuries. Learning your genetic background could soon cost you extra. Plus details as Lucas Oil Tulsa shootout comes to town and micro sprint car racers arrive. And a new study shows whether intermittent fasting could really help your health and weight loss goals. Now, we all want to do it, unearthing the roots on your family tree, but it's on the verge of becoming a lot more expensive. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services wants to increase fees by 500% for a number of applications and documents. That includes historical records of deceased immigrants who came to the U.S. between the late 19th and mid-20th centuries. A group is trying to convince the agency not to hike the fees, but the agency says they need the money to cover operating and processing costs. The public comment period ends tomorrow. The Lucas Oil Tulsa shootout starts Wednesday. Racers and those watching the micro sprint cars will flood into Tulsa for the event. Now, it's one of the world's largest micro sprint car events. This is video from last year. Move-in day is Tuesday, and the races start Wednesday at the River Spirit Expo. The shootout is followed by that National Chili Bowl cook-off. And the latest diet craze is called intermittent fasting. Now, have you heard of this? Basically, it means you go on long stretches without eating. Well, now a new study says it may have powerful hidden health benefits that go way beyond shedding those pounds. NBC's Gadi Schwartz reports.
They say some people eat to live, others live to eat. But a new study is asking whether going hungry could be the key to a healthier and even longer life. Published in the New England Journal of Medicine, researchers are now taking a dive into two kinds of intermittent fasting.
In one fast, instead of the good old breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you avoid food for 16 to 18 hours a day and only eat from a 6 to 8 hour window.
The second, you eat your normal 3 meals, but only 5 days a week, and on 2 days, you cut all the way back to 500 calories. The study's author and professor of neuroscience, Mark Mattson, has been fasting intermittently for nearly 30 years.
Intermittent fasting enhances the ability of cells to cope with stress.
He says all that quick feast to famine forces your body to switch between burning and storing fat like humans did in ancient times.
Our bodies and brains evolved to function well, perhaps optimally, in a fasted state.
The study finding that sometimes those switches can help reduce obesity, high cholesterol, blood pressure, and inflammation while increasing memory, cognition, and resistance to disease. An easy sell on California's Muscle Beach.
I just feel a lot better.
But researchers say intermittent fasting isn't for everyone, specifically children, the elderly, people with eating disorders, or women who are pregnant or breastfeeding. And if you're thinking about it, check with a doctor or nutritionist before pushing that plate away. Gadi Schwartz, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And we've seen some snow showers to the north of our viewing area tonight, mainly in throughout Kansas. Those are now in throughout Missouri, so that area of snow will stay away from us overnight tonight as it continues to move off towards the east. Afternoon high temperatures will be warming up this coming week, and we're talking about the next chance of a very slight chance of rain showers coming up on your latest 10-day forecast. Take a look at those westerly wind gusts right now, still upwards of 21 in Pryor, 18 in Grove, and 17 around Bartlesville, and of course that is pulling the wind chill down now into the upper 20s. The feels like temperature in Coffeyville just updated in Grove. Now it feels like 28, 30 in Tahlequah, and 31 for our viewers in Poto. On Viper 4D dual Doppler radar, you can see it is quiet for our area for northeast Oklahoma, and it quieted down for Kansas. We saw some snow showers there earlier. Now all of that snow is in throughout southwestern portions portions of Missouri, and that will dissipate overnight tonight there. Now, of course, we have New Year's Eve coming up. Take a look at this forecast. Partly cloudy skies. It will be dry with those temperatures going down into the upper 30s as we approach midnight. Now 39 degrees at the Tulsa International Airport. Our daytime high today was 52. However, that occurred late last night just after midnight. For this afternoon, we were stuck mainly into the mid-40s. The actual air temperature now in Pryor, 37 and 39 in Okmulgee. Take a look at the satellite picture over the past several hours. This area of low pressure located well to the north and northeast of Oklahoma is responsible for the breezy conditions we experienced today. That low is still going to influence our wind pattern for tomorrow, so still expect those westerly gusts upwards of about 25 miles per hour. On future track clouds and precipitation overnight tonight, we're going to clear the skies out for green country and southeast Kansas, but notice for tomorrow on your Monday, those yellow arrows coming in from the west, so still those breezy westerly winds gusting upwards of about 20 to 25 miles per hour, though a lot of sunshine is in the forecast for tomorrow, and really over the next several days. That next chance, a very slight chance of rain, comes in on Thursday, and the chance is only at about 20% as of now. By early tomorrow morning at 33 degrees, look for those skies to clear overnight tonight as that snow system continues to move away, and some of those westerly winds gusting upwards of about 25 tonight, sustained between about 10 and 15. It will be warmer tomorrow, lots of nice sunshine, 50 degrees, and that westerly wind pattern will continue. Here's your planner for tomorrow morning. The wind chill at 9 into the upper 20s, so definitely extra layers tomorrow, especially in the morning, and then by the afternoon, still those gusty winds and around 50 degrees for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Your latest 10-day forecast, upper 20s by Tuesday morning, though 52 in the afternoon. Upper 50s on Wednesday for the starts of 2020. Very slight chance of showers on Thursday. Next weekend, highs in the 50s.
All right. Well, I mean, I thought it was wintertime, but apparently it's not.
Yeah, we haven't gone there quite yet.
Now, you just got back from my old stomping ground.
Did.
Unfortunately, there was a loss.
My arms are tired.
I'm sure they are, man. What do you got coming up?
Well, we're going to still try and figure out what the heck happened last night in Atlanta as the Sooners got blowed out by the LSU Tigers. One final report from Jacob Toby in the ATL next.
Now, Two Works for You Sports, sponsored by your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
What a homecoming for the Thunder's rising star, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The native of Canada scores 32 points tonight in Toronto, and he hits the game-winning shot in the final 35 seconds. Great win for OKC against the defending champs. 98-97 the final. There was that game. And welcome into sports, everybody. Of course, the college football season is officially over here in the state, Sooner State. And tonight, the tremendous college career of OU receiver CeeDee Lamb is also history. Lamb, one of the few bright spots for the Sooners in last night's 35-point loss to LSU in the college football playoffs, announcing tonight on Twitter that he will forego his senior season in Norman and enter the NFL draft, saying, quote, "It's been my dream for as long as I can remember to play in the NFL, and I think it's time to take that next step." Can't argue with that. This guy is ready. More than 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns this season. Meanwhile, we got my guy Jacob Toby putting a bow on our Peach Bowl coverage and the Sooner season today in Atlanta.
Yeah, Caden, it's a little quiet here at the Media Hotel. As you can see behind me, all the college football playoff wallpaper taken down. That is because the semifinal here in Atlanta is over, and also the Sooner season is over. And when a season ends, it's time to reflect. And Parnell Motley taking time after last night's game to reflect on the defensive improvement this team made this year.
I'm very proud, man. And then I can say this is the best defense I've been on since I've been here, man. We changed the culture of this defense, man. Just 1 year and with the Grinch system. I think Grinch going to do a whole lot better within these years at Oklahoma. In just 1 year he did with us, man, and played a great season. What we did, man, broke records throughout the season. It was a great defense this year, man. But we just came up short, and then there's more to come next year.
You know, I'm incredibly proud of this team for sure. You know, they fought through a lot of hard stuff this year, and they've done a really good job. You know, I love everybody on this team. I wouldn't trade this team for anything. So, I'm really proud of how this team played this season.
Despite the loss, we had a great season. It was a great team. All the accomplishments, all the brotherly love that we had together in the locker room, all the goods, all the bads. Can't take away the friendship. all the guys, just building a bond with all the guys, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful to be a Sooner.
Now, many project CeeDee Lamb to be a first-round NFL draft pick, and post-game, Creed Humphrey was asked if he's made a decision on his future, and he said no. That'll wrap it up from the College Football Playoff here in Atlanta. Reporting from the Media Hotel, Jacob Toby, 2 Works for You.
Jacob, thank you much. Turn out the lights on your way out, man. KJRH.com right now. What the heck happened to the Sooners last night? What does it mean for the program going forward? That's Big Al Jerkins. He joined me in Atlanta for the rant. Check it out. Okay, Boomer. Collinsville native Grayson Boomer, a 4-star tight end who started his career at Oklahoma State, announcing today he's going to transfer to TU. That's a big one for the Golden Hurricane. He'll join his brother Seth on the roster. Boomer making the announcement today on Twitter and posting an old picture of the two brothers. Boomer to Boomer is coming to 11th and Harvard. College hoops now. Non-conference finale for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Visiting Kansas State, trying to knock off the Wildcats for a second year in a row. TU would run out to a 16-3 lead. Looked promising. 9 points, 4 steals for Brandon Rochelle. K-State would regain the lead by halftime. Down the stretch, this thing went back and forth. A Lawson Corita 3 would cap a 9-0 run. TU was up 46-45. Final 30 seconds here. Tied at 66. Cartier Jada, step back 3 for the lead, and that is good. Wildcats hold off the Golden Hurricanes 69-67. Tough loss. TU opens American Conference play against Temple on Friday. After missing 4 games with illness, OSU's star guard Isaac Likely back on the floor tonight. Cowboys hammering Southeast Louisiana 82-31. Thomas DeZagua scores 14. Likely 9 and 4 assists in 19 minutes. Pokes now 8-0 with Likely in the lineup. Just 1-3 without him. Big 12 play begins Saturday at Texas Tech. Too little, too late for the Dallas Cowboys in Week 17 of the NFL season. 4 touchdown passes for Dak Prescott today in a 47-16 beatdown of Washington. But Philadelphia beats the Giants to win the NFC East. Dallas 8-8 out of the playoffs. Jason Garrett's job in jeopardy. Your move, Jerry Jones. Elsewhere on Week 17, the Patriots lose to Miami, so Kansas City's 31-21 defeated the Chargers, clinching the 2 seed in a first-round bye in the AFC playoffs. There goes Damian Williams. 124 yards and 2 touchdowns for the former Sooner in the victory. The number 1 seed in the AFC would be the 14-win Baltimore Ravens. Second career touchdown run for Tulsa native Justice Hill right there in a 28-10 win over Pittsburgh. Tennessee snags the final playoff spot over the Steelers. Brutal finish to a brutal season for Baker Mayfield. He throws 3 interceptions and a Browns loss to sorry Cincinnati today, 33-23, and Cleveland has already fired head coach Freddie Kitchens tonight. Jameis Winston. Oh, I love this story. The NFL's first 30-30 man. What does that mean? 30 touchdown passes, and that was his 30th interception. It sealed the deal in an overtime loss to Atlanta. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. When he throws it, it's going to be interesting. And speaking of interesting, how about the way the 49ers beat the Seahawks tonight on the goal line stand? That's your Oklahoma Ford Sports Report. We'll be right back.
Learn. The Social Security Administration now has the top baby names of 2018 for us. Emma, Olivia, and Ava took the top spot for girls, and for boys, Liam, Noah, and William. We'll be right back.